COVID-19, better known as coronavirus, has spread throughout the world. There are a few ways to help lower the spread of this respiratory disease. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your face, including mouth, nose, and eyes. Cover your coughs and sneezes. Monitor your symptoms and consult with your doctor. Stay at home and away from other sick people except for medical care. Clean and disinfect high-touch surfaces. For more information, please visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Thank you.
Welcome to the Solo Ant Show. I am your host, Pretty Boy Tony, aka Expect the Ant, and I'm with my co-host Romeo. Romeo, how you doing?
I'm Batman.
No, it's supposed to be I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
It's like I'm Bruce Wayne. Now let me change my Batman voice.
Hey,
I'm Batman.
Well, I'm Batman.
Yeah. And I got my Batman credit card.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Well, yeah. That part, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are the cashiers like? Do you have a form of any identification?
No, what I was thinking of when I saw that scene, the first thing I was thinking of was like, what do they use for the billing address? They're gonna know it's Bruce Wayne.
Like,
about the... Hey, hold on.
But you would think like, how can Batman afford all this shit? Like, he's got to be some sort of a billionaire, right?
Wait, how come Batman and Bruce Wayne have the same billing address?
Yeah. And Batman goes, because I live beneath Bruce Wayne's mansion. I live in the basement.
I live in the cave underneath his mansion.
So, Mr. Black Stark, what are we going to be talking about tonight? Happy Tuesday.
Well, yeah, we're recording this on a beautiful Tuesday evening. And we're going to be discussing
Warm Tuesday.
Batman. Yeah.
My part. I don't know. How's the weather with you?
It's hot as fuck.
That's what I'm talking about.
So,
somebody asked.
Yeah, so we've been doing like the worst series. We did the worst Royal Rumble, which was the 1999 Royal Rumble. We reviewed that, which even though it was voted as the worst, we actually thought it was pretty entertaining. And then we did the worst WrestleMania a couple weeks ago. We reviewed WrestleMania 2. And so today we're going to continue on the worst, but instead of doing wrestling, we're going to switch it up. And we're going to talk about the worst superhero movie ever, which was Batman and Robin. This movie was so bad that it killed off an entire genre. And it almost killed off like all Batman movies. And it also killed off a DC cinematic universe 20 years before they actually decided to do the DC cinematic universe.
Bro, not only DC films, but like an opportunity for superhero genres.
Yeah.
There would be
I was saying though that they're supposed to do a DC cinematic universe back in the 90s. And this movie was so bad that WB decided to cancel that shit.
Yeah. But that also affects like all comic films.
Yeah.
All like potential, like there would be no fucking Infinity Saga or Gauntlet, or you guys are not gonna be getting any like X-Men or anything like that because of this.
Yeah. Like this movie, it was like beyond like bad and stupid. Like Batman Forever was okay. I mean, the acting was kind of over the top, especially like the villains. But this movie just took it to a whole nother level. The worst thing, the best thing that ever happened to Val Kilmer was that he he read the script and quit. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm not about to act in this shitty ass movie. No, I'm gonna quit and do something else. Not only did this movie like kill the superhero genre, it basically ended the careers of everybody involved in this movie. The only people that survived was George Clooney, who was like a sex symbol at the time, and Uma Thurman somewhat.
She was like a sex symbol at the time. She was a hard.
Well, for Uma Thurman actually kind of did kill her career because it took her 7 years to recover when she did Kill Bill in 2004. But after this movie, like Uma Thurman, her career was pretty much dead and over with until Quentin Tarantino threw her a lifeline. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger, he decided to stop acting and get into politics as he became the governor of California a few years later.
You know a movie is bad. You know a movie is bad when Arnold Schwarzenegger is like, I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah, I rather be the governor.
Because I mean, let's face it. You can't picture Arnold Schwarzenegger getting an Oscar award for any of his past films. Maybe Terminator. I don't know. I would maybe say Terminator 2. That would probably be like the closest where Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Well, the only problem with that though is like normally they don't give out like Academy Awards for like action films
or like sci-fi or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, what about the Joker? I mean, not the Joker, but
well, no, the Joker was the first. No, the Joker was the first one.
No,
it was like the first comic book movie to actually win an Academy Award.
Well, movie, yeah. But I'm talking about like actors.
Actors. Yeah, you had like Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's another one.
Yeah, they'll give it to you for individual characters. But I'm talking about like the movie, like winning Best Picture. Yeah, they don't normally give it to like action movies, superhero movies, or sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's why people got mad in 2008 because they thought that The Dark Knight should have won the Oscar for Best Picture. Instead, they gave it to Slumdog Millionaire, a movie nobody even heard of at the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because people were mad, like, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck is Slumdog Millionaire? It should have went to Dark Knight. And they're like, nah, this Indian movie's better.
Hey, it's also the same time when they made the movie. What is that? 300 Years of Slavery or something? Remember that movie?
No, that was after Dark Knight.
No, I know, but just like how there's a lot of like independent films that people don't know about and get like nominated for something or win an Oscar for best film. Like we usually don't find out about this movie until we hear about it.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's because it's independent. So when it comes to like independent films, when it comes to like advertising and marketing, they're trying to save as much money as possible since they have a budget. So.
But sometimes though, like Hurt Locker was a big budget film, but it did bad at the box office. But for some reason, the Academy loved it and it won Best Picture.
Yeah, and I didn't even know about that film until I actually watched it. And I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't. Yeah, me and you watched it in. You and I watched it in college.
Yeah.
Because we watched it after it won the Oscar. Like, okay, what's this Hurt Locker shit? So we watched it. I mean, it was pretty good. But I could see why it didn't make any money, but it was pretty good.
It's the first superhero team up film of Hawkeye and
Falcon.
Wait, is there another one? There's got to be a third one in there. Is there a third Avenger in there?
Nah. Well, there is one. I think it's called Enchanted. It had Cyclops and Wolverine in it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
With Hugh Jackman and Mark Manson.
That's pretty cool.
So anyway, back to Batman and Robin. So like, this movie was so bad that it basically it killed off everybody's career. Like Chris O'Donnell, he stopped making movies. Yeah, Chris O'Donnell stopped making movies. He just does like TV shows now.
Wait, hold on. Let me stop you there. Is Chris O'Donnell related to Rosie O'Donnell?
Nah, I think they're just both Irish and have the same last name.
Okay, I thought they were like sisters and brothers and shit.
So like he just does TV shows now. Alicia Silverstone, who was a sex symbol at that time, I haven't seen her act in anything since this movie. Like this movie killed her career. Because at the time she was like the hottest thing going, especially after she did Clueless. And this movie like killed her entire career.
Uncle Alfred. Uncle Alfred.
Oh my god.
Uncle
I hated that. I hated that too. How like she was giving like Bruce and Dick shit for Alfred work being as like a maid. Like yeah, you just treat my uncle like a slave and you don't care about Alfred. And it's like bitch, you know
he's getting paid for this shit.
Well, no, it's not even that. But it's like bitch, you know he basically raised Bruce and he could have quit any time. Like it's not like Bruce is forcing him to work.
And you gotta think about it, bro. If Bruce Wayne dies, bro, you know where all his money goes to? Fucking Uncle Alfred.
Yeah.
Like he's a what is it? Surrogated parent or something? What would they call it? Like
he's basically like his surrogate father.
There you go, surrogate father. Yeah. So he basically controls everything, and you know because he's not a dick, he's not gonna fucking rip Bruce off and shit and take him to, get him off of his
I mean, he could have did that when Bruce was a little kid.
I was also thinking about that, like, fuck, dude, you're Alfred, dude, and you got the fucking power to like, you know what I mean?
Because he had control of everything until Bruce turned 18.
Yeah. So when Batgirl, his daughter, is
when Barbara Pennyworth.
Yeah, Pennyworth.
I hated that shit. Like, what the fuck?
Alternate universe, bro. Like, what?
Barbara, and that's nothing to that.
Barbara had blonde hair with the last name Pennyworth.
And that's another thing too that annoyed me. Okay, so she was born and raised in England, and yet she has an American accent.
Well, you can't say that maybe she knows how to turn off her accent, because a lot of Englishmen, a lot of British people can turn off their accent, and a lot of British people can actually sound like us, like Americans.
A lot of the actors.
A lot of the actors can, British actors can, fake their accents and make themselves sound American. As opposed to us, we try to sound British and we sound like shit.
Yeah, but why sound American?
People on your bum.
But why try to sound American if you're visiting your uncle?
To fit in? I don't know, man. Like this dude. You're asking me to like find logical reasons and try to explain a fucking movie that doesn't even make any sense. It's like asking me about gravity, And
then like they fucked up too, because like the villains that they chose for this movie are not even compatible with each other. Like Poison Ivy, her whole purpose in this movie is she wants to kill all humans and just have plants rule the world. Mr. Freeze, on the other hand, he wants to freeze the entire planet.
Still eliminate. He just wants to kill everybody.
Yeah, he wants to freeze the entire planet. But I'm saying though, like, why would Poison Ivy work with Mr. Freeze when her plants won't grow if the whole planet's ice?
Right.
The villains, they don't even mix.
But I think in the midway of the film, because I think Mr. Freeze wanted like this crystal, right, to power up his suit.
His suit, yeah.
Like contraption. That way he can use that crystal to freeze off Gotham, right?
And also the crystals also to help find a cure for his wife.
Right, because his wife was still alive at the time. And this is another fucked up thing I hated about Gotham. And I know we're not talking about Gotham, but the fact in Gotham, Mr. Freeze's character, Victor Freeze's wife was actually killed. So there's no motivation. Because you would think, like, that's the only thing I respected with Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, is that I'll
say Joel Schumacher's Mr. Freeze.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze.
I mean, Joel Schumacher wrote it. That's why I said Joel Schumacher.
Well, okay, whatever. But that Mr. Freeze, that's the only thing I respect in the story, is that his motivation is based off of like his wife. That's the only thing.
Now, I'll ask you this though: if gay marriage was legal back in the 90s, do you think Joel Schumacher would rewrite it to be his husband? instead of his wife.
Yeah. It would be a dude.
Yeah.
What's his wife's name in the
Noah.
Noah?
Well,
So
it's Nora in the
Noah.
comic books, but they never said her name. They never said her name in the movie.
So it's gonna be instead of Nora, it's gonna be
Ned.
Nick. Ned. Ned, don't worry.
And you know what? I say this too.
Mr.
Like,
Freeze, dude. Imagine that.
speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger too, I have to say, like, to me, he wasn't a bad Mr. Freeze. He was just given a bad script.
Everybody, freeze.
Everybody,
Chill.
what killed the dinosaurs?
The
Ice Age. Let's kick some ice,
bro. When Batman and Robin, like when Batman told Robin, ice skates. The skates came out of it. I was like, how the fuck did you know you needed ice skates? Like, what the fuck? Just in case. Like this dude, when he did that, this was like straight out of like the Adam West, you know, where Adam West, it reminded me when Adam West and Robin were like stuck and they had to find like a clue from an alphabet soup, so he used his alphabet soup encoder or something. Took it out of his mouth. Like,
actually, I'm glad that you said that though, because this is a nice segue. So Joe Schumacher in recent years has admitted that he never read a Batman comic book in his life. Like, he doesn't know anything about Batman. His only knowledge of Batman is watching the Adam West series back in the 60s, because that's what he grew up watching as a kid. But in watching this movie, you could tell like that's all he watched, because it was kind of like a 2-hour episode of the 1960s Batman.
It's pretty much what it is. I mean, it's kind of like the 1970s Batman on steroids, basically. Literally.
You mean 60s?
The 1960s on steroids, like literally.
And then also too, I thought about it. Like I wonder if like Chris Nolan had put like a little diss in there, because remember in Dark Knight when Batman was like, "I don't wear hockey pads," and then in this movie they're like playing hockey in the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh shit! Hey, that's a good Easter egg. That's
I thought about that.
I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out like why would he say that? That's got to mean something. And I get it, like the wannabe on the what is this?
The fake Batman.
The Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
Dark movie. Okay, so the fake Batman, or I like to call them the Sons of Batman, just because you know, just for reference. But the fake Batmans, of course, were wearing the hockey pads, and when he said, "I don't wear hockey pads," I'm like, it's got to mean something else. It's got to mean more than these guys. But for you, like pointing that out, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I was watching the movie over the week. Yeah, I was watching the movie over the weekend, and I was like, in the beginning of the movie when they're fighting Mr. Freeze's goons, like Batman and Robin are playing hockey with these guys with the diamond. And so I wondered, like,
these still don't wear hockey pads.
Yeah, but they had hockey sticks and ice skates. It's like Batman and Robin. It's like Batman and Robin's like, okay, we're gonna need ice skates and hockey sticks for some reason. Just be prepared. Just carry ice skates and hockey sticks. We're gonna need it at some point.
I bet you his assistant director was like, "What the fuck, ice skates?" Like, do you know how hard it is to fight somebody on ice skates? Like, you gotta ask those those NHL players, you know, when they try to get into an argument or fight with each other or try to even punch each other, they have a hard time. Even they have a hard time like punching each other.
Yeah.
And they're professionals, you know. But I don't know. That shit was pretty funny.
And now, then I would give him this though, in that opening scene, the CGI actually still works for today. Like that scene where they're surfing in the sky, that was pretty good CGI. Yeah. But where the age that actually aged pretty well, but where it didn't age well was the ice. Like you could tell it was just plastic.
But I don't know, the transition with the ice, it wasn't too bad.
Nah, but it still didn't age well.
Of course.
There was certain CGI that aged well, like when they're surfing in the sky, and there's other CGI where it's like, okay, you can tell this is like 90s.
Well, I do want to also give props to. I know I'm probably gonna get blasted on this, but the the Iceman suit, Mr. Freeze's suit.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't like the. It's a nice suit, but I didn't like the fact that they put the lights in his mouth. Like I didn't get that.
The lights are well, maybe just to like spark up and like flash the illuminating color of his face. That way his the makeup like pops more, because you know how he has like blue makeup. It has like little sprinkles and stuff to make it look icicle. So maybe to help like illuminate that area. But the reason why I like this suit, because the suit does actually remind me, and I know of course this movie came before the game, but it reminded me of the Arkham City suit, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, the only difference is that the helmet's different. Like the helmet covers his whole face in Arkham City.
See, I would have liked it better if he did have a full-on freaking astronaut, like fucking helmet-looking suit, the whole bubble head and shit like that. That would have been nice, because that would even make more sense. Because you don't want the cold air to, you don't want any like areas where the cold air can just like fill out or vent out. So of course you would want like this whole bubble head to keep that cold air in. Wait, how did he survive? Because maybe for him to survive, he has to be around like below zero temperature, right?
Yeah.
So how did he survive with a suit if he didn't have like anything to shield his face?
Nothing in this movie makes sense. I just felt sorry for Mr. Freeze. I felt sorry for Arnold Schwarzenegger, like when he read the script, all those puns.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming. Allow me to break the ice. You are not sending me to the cooler. Freeze well. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Stay cool, bird boy. Let's kick some ice.
Show some mercy.
I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy. All right, everyone. Chill. It's a cold town. Cool party. Can you be cold, Batman? Chilled to perfection. Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze coming.
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger being Arnold Schwarzenegger, though.
No, but I'm saying like for them to write all those puns in the script.
Hey, I was actually waiting for him.
It's like,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that it's like the writing team was just sitting around, just coming up with like different like freeze jokes that they can come up with.
I was actually waiting for him to when he stole the diamond, right, from the auction. I want to talk about that. When he stole the diamond from the auction, I was waiting for him, like after he said everybody chill and he like left, right? I was waiting for him to say, "I'll be back."
Yeah, but at that point, him and Poison Ivy were like flirting with each other.
Yeah. Well, look at you, little leaf. Or I don't know. He says something to Poison Ivy. I thought it was pretty funny. Let's talk about Poison Ivy though. Like I thought.
Okay, her whole arc was way over her whole Uma Thurman was over the top the whole movie. Like it started in. I actually thought the opening sequence when they fight Mr. Freeze, even though the ice skates was lame, but I thought the opening sequence for the most part was pretty good. The movie starts to go downhill when they go to Brazil, and they introduced Poison Ivy. So she's working at like Wayne Enterprises in Brazil. She catches her boss creating Bane. So the boss creates Bane and makes Bane all like retarded and shit. He doesn't even talk, doesn't even speak. And then he decides to kill Pamela Isley because she refuses to fuck him. And then she comes back from the ground and becomes poison ivy, and gets revenge by killing her boss. And then she decides, for whatever reason, to go to Gotham to confront Bruce Wayne about some fucking plants. But like, just the whole thing was just over the top. Like, her boss was over the top, she was over the top, and Bane was over the top. Like, the whole thing in Brazil was over the top. And it didn't even look like Brazil. It looked like Transylvania or some shit. But I just thought it was like bad acting from everybody.
Here's a good reference though. The boss who the guy who played the boss of Poison Ivy was John Glover. So John Glover, who also played, get this, Lionel Luthor, the father of Lex Luthor in Smallville. Huh.
Oh wow!
Talk about recycling your actors, huh? Keeping that budget.
Well, the ones I really felt bad for was Commissioner Gordon and Alfred.
Didn't get enough like screen time. Is that what it is?
Well, no, just that like Pat Hingle, who plays Commissioner Gordon, and Michael Gough, who plays Alfred, like they're dead now, but like at the time they were like respected actors. Like they were, like very popular actors, especially back in like the 40s and 50s and shit. And so for them at their old age to act in this horse shit, it probably like ruined their reputation.
Yeah.
It's like they deserve so much better. But as far as like Commissioner Gordon's screen time, that's the one thing I do like about the Chris Nolan trilogy is like, there's a partnership between Batman and Commissioner Gordon. And these movies, it's just like Commissioner Gordon just there.
Yeah. In contrast with the two characters, both Commissioner Gordon and Alfred Pennyworth, between this movie and we're talking about Batman Begins. The contrast between them is that Commissioner Gordon and Alfred, the actors in Batman Begins, actually stole more of the scenes whenever they're with Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins. But in this movie, it's like nobody really cares about them. Not really.
They're just side characters.
They're just side characters, yeah. And that's another thing where Schumacher failed in this film, in this franchise, where like it's not just Batman.
Well, Tim Burton too. And Tim Burton. Tim
Burton did the same thing as well. He kind of started off because he was more focused on Batman villains and Batman. Yeah. But again, like, bro, still Batman Returns is still in my top.
All right. So a quick little background about the movie. Obviously, we already talked about like the first the first two. Well, I won't say the first two scenes, but the first two parts of the movie where they first meet Mr. Freeze, and they just randomly had ice skates and hockey sticks, and then Poison Ivy. Then they switch over to Brazil when Poison Ivy gets her powers, and we're introduced to Venom. But a quick background about the movie was that originally
Venom, Tom Hardy.
I mean, not Venom. I'm Venom. I meant Bane.
No, but I know what you mean because Bane.
Well, Tom Hardy part, Venom, yeah. But Tom Hardy did play both characters.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's crazy how you catch this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So originally, Joe Schumacher wanted Patrick Stewart to play Mr. Freeze. And I think Patrick Stewart might actually have the better look for Mr. Freeze than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because when I read it, I thought that Patrick Stewart kind of looks like the Mr. Freeze from the cartoon, the Batman animated series cartoon.
I had a different person in mind.
Who'd you have in mind?
What's his name? Who's the guy who played?
Because at that time, all thing Patrick Stewart was really known for was Star Trek Next Generation.
Well, and he was actually he was around his 40s at the time, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, 40s or 50s.
Yeah, 40s and 50s. I was thinking about Christopher Lloyd.
He was Patrick Stewart was actually 57 at the time.
Oh, okay. And the reason why I picked Christopher Lloyd at the time was because how he portrayed the villain in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Plus, his over the top acting would have been perfect for this universe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was frozen today. That was my Christopher Lloyd.
Let's kick some ice.
Marty. Oh.
Just imagine Christopher Lloyd saying all those puns.
Yeah.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
The Ice Age. But okay, we can't really like that's his character in Back to the Future. So of course he's like, this like Albert Einstein, over the top, like, crazy but genius type of guy.
Nah, but even in Addams Family though, he was kind of over the top.
Yeah, you're right.
Uncle Fester. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. Oh, even in Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, he was like this kind of, I don't know, villainous type of guy, but when he turned into a cartoon at the end of the movie, he was actually a toon, right? This crazy lunatic toon. He was pretty much
that movie's pretty dark for a kids movie.
Yeah, for a kids movie. Yeah, I mean,
but yeah.
Damn.
Just imagine. You were a kid in the '80s, but I could just imagine being a kid in the '80s. Just be like Butters, like, why's my wiener getting hard?
She looked like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I love Kim Kardashian. I love Kim Kardashian. I just want to jump on her belly.
So what do you think of Joel Schumacher originally wanted Patrick Stewart for Mr. Freeze?
Damn, I don't know, dude. It's hard. It's hard to think about that. I mean, it's hard to even process that, only because I'm so used to Patrick Stewart being Xavier, and I'm still having a hard time.
Well, this is before X-Men, though.
Well, of course, I know. It's just, I mean, I think he would have been all right. I think he would have been perfect, to be honest with you, because he has that tone. He's not like, Mr. Freeze isn't like the over the top type of like character, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger portrayed. He doesn't even have puns. He doesn't joke around. Like, you never hear Mr. Freeze say, what killed the dinosaurs? Or he doesn't joke around. He doesn't. I don't remember him, with his sarcasm, and because he's always serious. That's all I know Mr. Freeze to be, like, a very serious character.
Well, that's why I said that. I think because when I read it, I was like, okay, Patrick Stewart, he kind of looks like the Mr. Freeze from the animated series at that time. Mm-hmm. It was around the same time this movie came out. But then you said Christopher Lloyd. I'm thinking, okay, Christopher Lloyd probably would have fit the universe better than Patrick Stewart.
Well, the Schumacher. The Schumacher.
Yeah, the Schumacher universe.
The Schumacher universe.
But to me, Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't that bad. He was just given a bad script to work with. Like, in rewatching the movie, I just felt like he wasn't that bad. He just had a bad script.
See, but what movie is Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, given a good script besides Terminator 2? I mean, think of one. Okay, Twins. I could say Twins.
No, there's another one. There was another movie too that he did that came out in the '80s. I can't think of the name right now.
Conan?
No. Well, Conan, he barely even talked.
No, he talked. You're talking about Hercules or something.
No, he was Conan. He wasn't Hercules, was he?
No, he was both. I think there was because he was playing I think he was playing a Hercules or something.
Because in Conan, the only person I remember from that movie was just Grace Jones.
Bro, that's Conan and Red Sonja. You gotta watch that shit. I gotta watch the shit again. That shit is a dope.
Well, Red Sonja is the one with Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah, Bridget Nielsen. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But she was another one that made my wiener all tingly.
Yeah, I don't know. Flavor Flav hit that.
Yeah, well, we don't know yet. Oh yeah, I
we
guess
did know. Remember that reality show they had?
Yeah, with China. I think China was there. Yeah.
Rest in peace to her.
I don't know, dude.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, I didn't even know he was been acting for this long, but yeah, he played Hercules back in 1969.
See, at that time, when he was playing Hercules, they didn't like his accent because it was too thick. He had a very thick
Yeah,
Austrian
but
accent.
I was just surprised he was. I didn't know he was been around since the 60s. I didn't know
Oh,
he was that. I didn't know he was that old.
well, he was Mr. Was it Olympian or something? He was
Oh, the move. Yeah, he was like the Mr. Universe.
or Mr. Universe or Mr. Olympian or something like that.
But no,
Before he
the movie I was thinking of was The Running Man,
The Running Man. I'm trying to remember that film.
and then you have Total Recall. The two, but yeah, those are the two movies from the 80s. I remember that he had. I thought he did pretty good in.
What about his comedy chops, like in Kindergarten Cop? Maybe it's a tumor. It's not a tumor.
See, I don't remember because I haven't seen those movies since I was a little
Oh
kid.
gosh,
After rewatching.
dude, you got so much time. You gotta do like an Arnold Schwarzenegger marathon.
Yeah,
One-
it's binge
one
on
day.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think you should. I think it'd be interesting if you go by like dates when the film was released. I think that'll be interesting to see Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, his progression.
Start from 1969 all the way until 2019.
Yeah, that way you can kind of see his build up with his career and his acting.
But see, the new Terminator movie, I heard it was pretty bad because it was another movie they made, like a feminist movie.
The new one. Are you talking
Yeah,
about the one with the females?
Dark Fate. Yeah, the one that came out last year.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't
So
seen it either, but I heard that it's pretty bad. It was one of those like it was like another feminist movie. It's like they decided to take like let's take Terminator 2, but let's make all the characters like females and make all the men weak and shit.
yeah, yeah. Just another reminder of a Ghostbuster film reboot.
Yeah, which they're now rebooting again, but this time with all men. Go
Well,
figure.
actually, the reboot is not a reboot. It's actually a sequel because it's connected to the
The
Ghostbusters,
originals.
the original ones. Yeah.
See, I still feel, and I know we're getting off topic, but fuck it. I still feel though. I still feel they should have.
Nobody wants to hear about like Batman and Robin. What the fuck?
But no, I still feel that they should make a Extreme Ghostbusters movie.
I think so too. I remember
Because
that.
like the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon came after the original cartoon had ended, but it's all connected.
Right.
So
yeah.
I feel like that's what they should have done instead of like making the reboot that they did.
Dude, and that was a pretty dark show for a kids show.
Well, yeah, even the one that came out in the 80s is pretty dark. Yeah.
The animation was good. Not only that, for diversity, they have a diverse character. Like everyone there was like with like different backgrounds, which would be great for those those people who are like complaining about like we need more diversity. We need more diversity.
All right, so then so the back on topic, we had so Patrick Stewart's originally played Mr. Freeze. Now for Batman, we talked about this earlier. They originally have Val Kilmer, because Val Kilmer played Batman in Batman Forever, but Val Kilmer read the script, was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." And so they were originally gonna hire Will Baldwin, one of the Baldwin brothers, to play Batman.
Oh,
but then Joel Schumacher watched ER, and he was like, "You know what? I want George Clooney instead." He probably thought like he probably was jerking off the ER. It's like, you know what, this George Clooney guy is so hot. I just want to shoot him, just put on that Batman costume, just get a nice like close up of his ass when he pulls up his pants. Yeah.
I'll say this though, George Clooney has the look of a Bruce Wayne. Like he makes a good Bruce Wayne.
The problem is he makes a bad Batman.
He makes a bad Batman. Val Kilmer makes a good Batman, but as a Bruce Wayne, nah. He doesn't play that like.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like Michael Keaton and Christian Bale did the best of both.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you wouldn't think like a person like Michael Keaton can be the Batman because he plays that Bruce Wayne so well. He's like that. He plays like that kind of like nice guy. Like, hey, hi guys, how's it going? I'm Bruce Wayne. Welcome to my mansion. If you guys need any money,
And he looks weak too.
yeah, he looks weak. But as Batman, he's like, I want you to tell all my friends who I am and where I came from. It's like, who are you? I'm Batman. Like,
And the same thing with Christian Bale. Like as Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale's like an asshole. Like you wouldn't think like this guy would actually sacrifice himself to save the world.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you compare Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne to Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne, Val Kilmer is still playing Batman. It's like, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. Like, what?
Yeah.
Edward Nigma. Like, bro, what the fuck? Lose the voice, man. Like,
and then George Clooney's opposite. Like, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne.
I'm Bruce Wayne,
and hi, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
You mind if I pay for this meal with my Batman credit card?
What if George Clooney played as Bruce Wayne and they hired Val Kilmer to be the stuntman playing Batman? Would that work?
I think it would have worked, but I think after reading the script, Val Kilmer was just done. He was like, "Fuck it, I want no part of this shit."
Yeah. No, but we'll still find out because the mannerisms are so different.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll be like, wait a minute, are they using two different actors?
But see, but then when I read that they really wanted, originally they were going to have William Baldwin play Batman, I really couldn't picture it. Because I just think of him, what he looks like now as an old man. But, like, I can't really picture him being Batman.
Wait, is this the Baldwin that did the Trump impersonation?
Yeah.
No, Alec. That's Alec Baldwin. Right?
Oh, yeah. William Baldwin. Okay, so I think William Baldwin played the one that played Barney in the Flintstones.
Bro,
like, there's so many Baldwin brothers. I'm not sure which one's which, but
the Baldwin brothers is like the Wayans brothers. Like, fuck, yeah. Which one are you talking about?
the Baldwin's like the white version of the Wayans brothers.
The Wayans brothers, yeah. Like which one?
Yeah, which one? It makes me think that the Chappelle Show skit. He's like, what? I didn't get the role. Who'd they give it to?
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans? Wait, there's another one? Like, fuck.
Well, I think Marlon Wayans is the most how do you say active or busiest?
Well, now he is because he's the youngest brother. So of course he's gonna he's still out now. He's still active because he's the youngest. The other one's like old and shit. Like their kids are now active.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're just. I mean, they've made their wealth, so I'm sure they're kind of like settling in from the.
Well, and not only that, but it's like you don't want to get to a point where you're competing for roles with your kids.
Wouldn't that be a good thing, though? I mean, you'd be proud.
Yeah, but I know some people. Is like, okay, you know what? Let me take a step back and let my kids have their shine. It's their time now.
Well, I mean, you can't like if they're. I'm sure like the role would be like. When they have like the cast person, the person who does all the casting, I'm sure she or he will be asking for like a specific type of like age or look.
See, like what I would like to see those like I would like to see like a movie with Damian Wayans Jr. and then have Damian Wayans Sr. play his dad.
Yeah. See, you can do something like that. It's kind of like what Ice Cube did with his kid. Had his own kid play him.
Well, so that wouldn't work because like Damien Jr. doesn't have like that egg-shaped head like his dad has. Because Damian Wayans, he's bald. He's the only bald Wayans brother, but he has like that egg-shaped head with those weird ears. Like Damian Wayans Jr. doesn't have that. They facially they look alike, but the head, he doesn't have his dad's head.
Hey, shut the fuck up! Homie, don't play that.
Yeah.
Homie, don't play that. Oh shit! I remember when Damon Wayans was playing like the homeless guy, and so the white interviewer was Jim Carrey was a white interviewer, like was an interviewer, right? Like interviewing him about his like career as a homeless person, and he would like live in this box, but then like Jim Carrey would ask him like, so Mr. Whatever his name was, we'll just call him Damien. Like, what do you use for entertainments? I was like, oh yeah, I go all kinds of channels. See this box of hole. He has like a hole in his box, but he sees like violence outside of his freaking box. It's like, yeah, I got all kinds of violence. Like I got, oh, we're watching Cops right now. Yeah, that was funny, dude. Damian
And
Wade.
so yeah, so like I said, I couldn't picture like William Baldwin playing Batman, but then you made a good point. I don't even know which one's William Baldwin. There's just so many Baldwin brothers. And I was also too surprised, like they filmed this whole movie, like like now when they film like the movies, they film it on location. Like they go to like the Chris Nolan Batman movies are all filmed in Chicago. But this movie was filmed inside Warner Brothers Studios, so it was like all indoors.
Oh, you're talking about Batman and Robin?
Yeah, they filmed it all at Warner Brothers Studios.
I think that's another thing.
So they built a set. And so
yeah, that's another thing Christian Nolan wanted to fix.
Chris Nolan.
I'm sorry, Chris Nolan, Christopher. Yeah, I'm getting Christopher's. Christopher Reeves, a lot of Christophers. Christian Bale, Chris Nolan. I think what he wanted to do also was to really change the look. He wanted to make the world, his Batman Nolan world, more like he wanted like an authenticity look.
Well,
like
make it look realistic.
More realistic. But he did shoot a lot in Chicago, but a lot of the shots too were also indoors. He actually built a lot of the sets for some. Of the
but what I'm saying though is like he built some of the sets. Yeah, but I mean like he filmed the whole movie in Chicago.
Yeah, of course.
You mix it, so it's like it gives you that real authentic like city vibe. Wow.
I'm surprised he didn't shoot in New York or LA, like downtown LA. I wonder. Maybe it's too expensive.
Yeah, well, I thought he was gonna do like New York since it was like Gotham City, but no, Chicago worked perfectly.
Yeah,
but I was surprised reading about Batman and Robin that they just filmed it all inside of Warner Brothers Studios.
Well, isn't that cheaper?
They built a set at Warner Brothers, and I think it would be more expensive because it's cheaper just to use a building in Chicago than it is to build an entire set.
But again, you still have to you gotta hire like a bunch of police units to lock down that area, right? And you gotta ask permission. You gotta get permits and ask the whoever the mayor, the senator of the city permission to shoot, of course, because that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
So isn't it more of an inconvenience to do all that to shoot outdoors? Isn't it more convenient to shoot indoors than to have to deal with all that?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, but I mean, when you have a big budget film like Batman, it shouldn't be an issue. But I guess they decided let's just. I guess because Joel Schumacher, he wanted that neon look.
Did you just call him Schumacher?
I mean Joel Schumacher. I guess because Joel Schumacher wanted that neon look for the city.
Wait, he is Jewish though, right? Schumacher.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Joel Schumacher, I think because he wanted that neon look for Gotham City, because Gotham City is all neon colored and shit.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he decided to film it at Warner Brothers Studios, so he can build his own city with all those neon colors and shit. Even though no city in America looks like that, but that's what he wanted.
Yeah. Well, it's to also match with the vehicles and the costumes, because obviously, I'm sure a lot of people know this, but he was trying to market the toy companies.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you say that, because Chris O'Donnell was quoted as saying that while making Batman and Robin, he felt like he was making a 2-hour toy commercial.
Yeah. Because I noticed too, and a lot of movies are not like this, but whenever I get an X-Men, when I see an X-Men toy straight from the film or in reference to the film, it looks nothing like the film. But when you see a Batman and Robin toy, shoot, that looks exactly like the fucking vehicle from Batman.
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell had a lot of interesting things to say about this movie. Like he hated the movie because he felt like they're making a commercial. He hated his costume. He liked the costume they had in Batman and Batman Forever. He liked that costume better than the costume they gave in Batman and Robin, which I always found interesting too. Like, I wonder why they gave him the Nightwing suit in this movie.
And didn't call it
But,
Nightwing.
no, they called him Robin. And then like he hated the suit, he hated the nipples, but him being a young actor at the time, like, he figured like, oh, okay, this is my chance of being a big budget film. But he knew the movie was gonna be shit from the beginning. But the movie ended up ruining his career. So like his career never really got off the ground. So like you end up feeling bad for him.
It slowed down his momentum and thriving.
Yeah, like he was better off. He was better off pulling the Val Kilmer, but at that age, like he didn't have the clout that Val Kilmer had to be like, you know what, fuck this movie, I'm out. So he just stuck with it.
You know what? Like I didn't mind Robin being introduced to the film, even starting from Batman Forever, but I was expecting at least like a throwback, like at least a throwback of Robin starting young.
See, I thought that would have been. I agree. I thought that would have been better because like, I never understood like why is Bruce adopting this grown ass man?
like he's like almost 35 years old and shit.
Yeah.
He's like 35 and shit. Like, what the fuck is he doing there living with you, bro? Like, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, like, you know, just give Dick a settlement money from the circus, and I'm pretty sure he'll be all right. Like, he doesn't.
Yeah,
you don't need
I'm sure he can take care of himself.
Yeah,
like,
you don't need to adopt. You don't need to adopt an adult. You know, like what adult gets adopted.
Yeah, see, that shit didn't make any sense. Now, like, in fairness, Chris O'Donnell as Robin or as Nightwing actually looks good. I thought his costume wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad.
How old was he back then?
I think he was around his 25, like, you know, mid-20s or whatnot. He was young. He was younger than Val Kilmer, that's for sure. Val Kilmer was probably
he was 20. He was 26.
Yeah, but that's still old. That's still old to be a fucking to get
adopted.
Hey here, Nick. You can go ahead and stay with me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
psycho.
No, I spoke. Bro, like, I spoke to Child Protective Services, and they told me I could go ahead and fill out the paperwork and adopt you.
Bro, I would laugh if Child Services just came and knocked at his door like, Mr. Wayne, Chris seems to like not want to stay here with you anymore, so we're gonna have to take him back from you. You don't seem like a fit person to be the legal, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna put this grown ass man back in the group home.
with all the little kids and shit.
Yeah.
See what I'm put
him in the system.
This is how I think they would have fixed it. Just they could have done something like what they did with Batman Begins. You know, they would start out with a very young actor, who plays, you know, playing playing Robin, or Dick Grayson, and then, like, you know, just like Batman Begins, like, kind of just do like a story, a 30-minute story or 20-minute story on, you know, his training with Bruce Wayne. I think that would have been interesting. We've never had anything like that in the film.
I think they should have did that. But I also think that they should have hired an actor that was maybe like 12 or 13, like they did with Gotham. Like Bruce Wayne was like 12 or 13.
Or Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Start with
that little girl.
Yeah, with Hit Girl. Start with her and stuff, or start with some like a kid actor and just have him grow up and train him. I think that would have been perfect. But no, they didn't. They rushed that shit. Not only did they rush.
They want the grown ass man.
Yeah, but not only did they rush Robin, who else did they rush, bro?
Barbara Pennyworth.
Barbara Pennyworth. Uncle Alfred. Uncle Alfred. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Man, this whole movie had me just to myself like, what the fuck? The whole movie. Like, nothing in this movie made sense. Like, okay, Bruce and Dick, they're like arguing. Like, bro, man, you don't trust me, bro. How can we work together if you don't trust me? And then out of nowhere, like, this bitch comes out of nowhere, Alicia Silverstone. Like, Uncle Alfred. No, I flew all the way here from London. But yet she has a perfect American accent.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about Batgirl? I can't even call her Batgirl, dude. I think She looks more like a freaking huntress or something. I don't know. But what do you think about Batgirl's?
Oh, I hated that too. In the movie when she introduces herself, she's like, "Hey guys, it's me, Barbara." And then Batman's like, "So, would you calling yourself Batgirl?" Oh, you couldn't. Why not? Why not Batwoman? And it's like, "Cause I want to be Batgirl." It's like, okay.
But you're not even the girl. You're like fucking 35 years old.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same age as Dick, and if he can be adopted at 26, how come I can't be a girl?
Well, let me ask you this, because this hasn't been done yet. Would you be down for a Robin and a Batgirl build up, starting from, with starting with oh,
Somebody's cutting grass outside.
would you be down for a Batgirl Robin origin in the Batman movie?
I don't know about a Batgirl Robin origin, but I would be down for like a
Not orgy, origin.
that's what I said, orgy.
Oh.
I wouldn't be down. I'd be down. I don't know about an origin, but I wouldn't mind seeing them like have their own movie, because they do eventually like fall in love and get married and shit.
Well, no. Okay, what about a Robin origin? Because Robin starts off with Batman. You can't have a Robin origin without a Batman, right?
Yeah, about this, are you talking about like have Batman and have a Robin and Batgirl have like their own like
No,
movie, right?
Let's start with Robin first. Like how?
No, but I'm saying, are you asking me? Should do I want to see them have their own movie, or you just mean like have an origin story?
That too. That both.
Okay, yeah. Okay, in the movie, I would like to see them have like a proper origin story. Like the origin story they have for both characters in Batman Forever for Robin, and Batman and Robin for Batgirl was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see like a proper origin story for both, and then like I wouldn't mind having like a Robin and Batgirl have their own movie together, since they like boyfriend and girlfriend. And that is one thing too that you notice in watching this movie, is that they were kind of setting up like them to eventually like fall in love for the sequel that never happened.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of sexual tension between Dick and Barbara in this movie.
I wonder what
it felt like Kylo Ren and Rey was just like just fuck already, just get it over with.
Yeah. I still felt Finn was robbed from that romance.
Yeah.
I think Finn and Ray would have been a better couple, only because they connected already from the beginning, and it seemed like Finn really liked her.
Yeah, and then for some reason they just that's what happens when you have like different writers for each movie.
Right.
Go in different direction.
Right. Different directors, different directions, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah. So what do you think about Batgirl's costume? Barbara Gordon.
I actually liked.
Barbara Pennyworth.
Yeah, Barbara Pennyworth. I actually liked her costume. I thought I think it would have been better if they would have left her have the what you call it, the full mask with like the horns and shit, like the Batman mask, instead of having like the domino mask that she had. But her costume wasn't that bad. I did like the ice costume that all three of them had.
The ice costume?
Yeah, at the end with the black and silver.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with the black and silver, dude. What's up with that? Like black and silver.
It's like, and that's another thing I didn't understand too. It's like, okay, they're like, okay, let's go stop Mr. Freeze, but let's change first.
Yeah. We gotta look cool at the end.
Yeah, we gotta look cool for the climax.
We gotta bling for the climax.
Yes, like we know where Mr. Freeze is, but let's waste time and let's go back home and change first before we stop the villain.
Yeah. Now, what about Poison Ivy? What you think about her costume?
Oh, it was terrible. Like,
she.
And again, I hate to say this, man, because it makes me sound homophobic, but you could tell that the director was gay because he made Poison Ivy look like a drag queen.
Yeah. But You know what really gets me though, and it just I just can't stop rewinding this one part in the film, the part when she was introduced as Poison Ivy in the well, I want to talk about like the whole back card shit. You know
Well, let's talk about it because that
when
shit
they
was
were
stupid.
when they were bidding with the I guess they had like a jungle theme for charity, right? For this charity event.
Yeah, it was a
And jungle theme. Jungle
Bruce
or Tarzan.
Wayne charity event, but
Right.
Bruce Wayne didn't show up.
See, okay, now that's
But Batman did.
But Batman did with a fucking major credit card.
Yeah.
Like a MasterCard, you know, and you're thinking like, huh, Bruce Wayne's not here, but Batman's here, and he has a fucking credit card. Huh, like you can't put two and two together. He sounds just like Bruce Wayne. Not only
See,
that,
this is why sorry to cut you off, but this is why I like Chris Nolan better because like he actually thought it through. Like for example, when Batman went to China to stop that Chinese guy in Dark Knight, remember he had Alfred cover for him by telling everybody that I'm gonna take a vacation to Russia with the whole entire Russia ballet.
Yeah, with the ballet girls.
And then he actually was in Russia to make sure everybody saw him to the cover up. So you never thought like, okay, well, Batman's in China, Bruce Wayne's in Russia, so they can't possibly be the same person.
Yeah.
But in this movie, it's like, oh, Batman, he just can't.
Well, hold on. Before I cut you off on that, here's my question about that one scene though with Alfred and Batman, Russia and China. Who was flying the fucking plane to pick up Batman?
That's a good question.
If Alfred, okay, supposedly it can't be Lucius Fox because Lucius Fox is in Gotham.
No, he was in China. He was in China.
Oh, so it probably was Lucius Fox. Well,
yeah.
But was Lucius Fox flying the plane?
They never showed who the pilot was. But Lucius Fox was in China.
I was like, who the fuck picked up Batman?
Yeah, because remember, Lucius Fox went to China to have the meeting because that's when he switched the cell phones so Batman could track his location.
Right. But they never mentioned anything about Lucius Fox being like a great pilot.
Hey, if he could build all that tech, I'm pretty sure he could fly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So just wanted to. Yeah, you got some explaining to do, Mr. Nolan. Anyway.
But at least it makes more sense to what Joe Schumacher did.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bruce Wayne can't make it to his own fundraiser. But we have Batman instead. Yeah.
Hey, not only that, Bruce Wayne and his adopted son, Dick Grayson,
Robin looks a lot like. Yeah, Robin looks a hell of a lot like his adopted son for some reason.
But Batman with a major credit card, who looks just like Dick Grayson.
Dick, yeah.
Named Robin. Bro, I kid you not, bro. Look, I know you well enough to where if you put a costume on, if you cover your whole face, I can tell it's you.
Yeah.
Because of your mannerism, the way you sound. If you don't change your voice, I can tell. Like, bro, fucking Anthony. Okay, I think it's you, bro.
Dude, like, I'm pretty sure his employees know that that's Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a fundraiser at Wayne Enterprises, but the boss can't make it. But the Batman who sounds just like the boss.
Hey, bro, if I dress up as Batman and I fake my voice, bro, and I
show up to work.
No, if I go up to you and I say I'm Batman, would you know it's me?
Yeah.
How would you know it's me? I'm covered up. You just know, right?
Yeah, because I can tell first of all by your mannerisms.
Yeah.
Because your mannerisms are still gonna be the same. But even like from your like if you had a Batman mask, you can still tell from like the lips, the chin, your teeth. There's ways you can tell.
Yeah.
But I'm saying though, like for in this case though, like since it was at Wayne Enterprises, so everybody there were like people that like either work for Bruce or work with Bruce.
Right.
And they couldn't even tell the difference. Like if you get the face, just listen to the voice because George Clooney didn't change his voice. And I'm pretty sure they met his adopted son.
I want to say this though. Do you think we would ever have a Christopher Nolan Batman universe if it wasn't for the failures of, the Batman franchise with Shoemaker.
Before I answer that, you didn't finish your point about this fundraiser.
Oh, what about the fundraiser?
You said you wanted to talk about it. You never finished your point.
Oh, right.
I cut you off. That was my bad.
There was no point. I just wanted to say that that was the most funniest scene. Not only the fundraiser, but the whole Mr. Freeze crashing the party and stuff like that. Everybody chill. Everybody chill.
Everybody chill.
And not only that one scene where Poison Ivy was dressed as the pink gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that shit was fucking funny though, because when she was doing the exotic dance, I'm looking at the gorilla like, fuck, that gorilla looks sexy. That was it. I thought that was funny. I thought it was the
it was funny, especially like the little argument between Batman and Robin, because everybody was bidding to get a date with Poison Ivy, and so one guy was like, "I bet $10,000,000," and
I bet $20 million for the gorgeous Otis.
Yeah, and then Batman was like, "I bet 30 million," and then Robin was like, "I bet 50 million." He was like, "You don't even have the money."
I'll borrow from you. Yeah,
because I'll borrow from you.
Yeah, and you're thinking like, shut the fuck up, dude. Everyone's gonna know who you are.
Yeah, but Batman didn't even do that. He was just like, "Well, I'll just pay with my credit card."
Yeah. Like, but who says that? I'll borrow from you. Wouldn't you think like, wait a minute, you Batman has that much money?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Why would you borrow it from Batman? Like, he has that much money. Like, that was the stupidest thing. Like, they totally forgot they had their costumes on. Like, they were literally playing Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne.
But it was like, how stupid are the people that were there to not notice?
But in fairness, though, I want to explain that scene. I think the reason why they were acting like that because, of course, of Poison Ivy's what is it? Pheromone?
But that only works on that thing. But that only works on men. What about the women that were there?
Well, I don't know. Maybe the women are just stupid in that.
Because the women should at least be like, "Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
this ain't making sense."
Well, bro, I mean, women are like selling themselves as escorts in that scene. So, what do you think?
Well, not Bob Kane's wife.
Yeah. Wait, Bob Kane's wife was that chick who was asking questions, right?
Yeah, she was like the old white lady asking questions. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I felt bad for Bob Kane because Bob Kane died a year after this movie came out. So like the last version of Batman that he got to see alive was this horse shit.
That was funny though, because Stan Lee and Bob Kane are good friends, right? Because they compete with each other as far as like the popularity of their characters. Bob Kane being the creator of Batman. Well, no, DC, but the creator of Batman, just Batman, right? And Stan Lee being the creator of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So at the time, like there was no Spider-Man film, and when Spider-Man came out, Stan Lee was like, "Fuck! If only Bob Kane was alive." I would have showed him like what a great film I have. I finally have a Spider-Man.
Yeah, compared to Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
No, he could have joked like, "Man, Batman and Robin was so bad it killed Bob Kane."
But see, you had Batman and Batman Returns, so even Bob Kane at the time was like, "Damn, these movies are great." I love it.
Yeah, but those movies came out like 10, 13 years before Spider-Man did.
No, I know, but I'm just saying at the time, like you still had those films, so you would think like it would help, build the superhero comic genre.
It did, and then Batman and Robin killed it.
And just slowed it down for everybody else. Yeah.
Okay, so to go back to your original question, I would say no, only because had this movie been
question, bro, like you gotta rephrase the question.
Oh yeah, so the question you asked me was like, if this movie was successful, will we have the Chris Nolan movies? And I would say no. Because
no. My question was, do you think that because of the failure of these two films that Schumacher made, do you think because of the failure of that, it actually helped create the Nolan universe?
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I agree. Because I think,
Well, I wouldn't say it helped create, but it gave Chris Nolan the opportunity to make his universe.
or to make it to do what, like, to learn from Schumacher on what not to do, right?
Well, not with that, but also too like, and this is how things are different between the '90s and today. Like this movie was so bad that like nobody would even touch Batman for like 10 years.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like Chris Nolan had the balls to be like, "Hey, I got this great Batman script,"
Do
and
it with
handed
your
it to
British voice. Do it with a British voice.
can't really do a British voice, but
I'll make sure we'll put no bat nipples on my bum.
yeah. Because like he had like him and his brother created this Batman script, gave it to Warner Brothers, and then sold them on the idea of like, hey, let's make another Batman movie. Because Warner Brothers had no intentions of ever like fucking with Batman or any.
Yeah, they're just gonna bury it.
Which is different than like the mentality today. Like today, in today's time, like a movie, like for example, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a flop, and that came out 2014, and then 2 years later in 2016, so it was like, well, fuck it, we'll just reboot it and come out with Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Right.
No, but if that happened in the '90s, like Sony,
did it work?
Like,
did it work?
Well, yeah, it worked, but I'm just saying,
right?
like, Sony didn't wait 10 years to make Spider-Man: Homecoming. They did it 2 years later. Like after 2 years, like, okay, let's just reboot it. Like, fuck it.
Right.
Well, in the '90s, like Batman and Robin was so bad that Warner Bros. Like, I think we're out of the superhero game for a while. Like, we're not even gonna touch Batman. Well, like if Batman and Robin came out today and it flopped, I think like 2 years later they would have just rebooted it.
I don't know. That's hard to say because it's easy to reboot something that's bad because right now there's different genres of films, and superheroes are considered a genre now in film, and like their own separate category in the film market. So I think the reason why they were able to reboot Spider-Man right away without having to wait like 6-7 years or whatnot damn. The reason why they're able to reboot it right away is because the superhero genre is still popular. Like people still want to watch superheroes because it wasn't Spider-Man that turned people off from watching like all the Avengers stuff. You still have all that and the X-Men stuff at the time, so that's why they're still reboot it right away.
So you're saying that this movie just in the '90s just turned people off from watching like superhero movies?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because there was no other Marvel didn't even have their own superhero movies at the time, so there was nothing to back up the superhero genre at the time.
Well, also too. Now that I think about it was also back to back because around the same, I think it was the same year Spawn came out, and Spawn wasn't very good either. So you had Batman and Robin plus Spawn that were two bad superhero movies at the time.
Yeah, I remember that Spawn, dude. Michael J. White, Joker's buddy. Oh no, not Joker's buddy, but Joker's enemy.
The only person in the mafia was like, let's kill Joker.
Yeah, that sucks. I think Spawn was another movie that kind of helped mess up the superhero chain, the superhero train, because that movie wasn't even that good. I mean, is that another guilty pleasure of yours, Spawn?
Nah, actually, to be honest with you, I haven't watched it since the '90s.
Oh, okay.
I just remember as a little kid, like even as a little kid, I was like, this movie sucks.
I'll tell you this though, John Leguizamo as the killer clown, I think he was pretty good.
He was good.
He was really good.
Well, I think also too another thing that fucks up both of these movies is that the carts, because they both had animated series that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
And the Batman the animated series and the Spawn the animated series were so much better than the movies. So it's like I'd rather watch the cartoon than watch this shit.
I think it's because of the ratings of the film. I think the Spawn movie was too. I guess
rated R.
Was it still rated R?
Yeah.
but it still didn't. I don't know. I have to watch that movie again. I think we should do another review on Spawn.
Yeah, I think just watch it and do a review on it.
Yeah, because I haven't watched it in a while, so I can't really talk about like contrast and compare like what they feel what they.
Yeah,
like.
I just know Charlie Sheen's dad was the villain. That's all I remember.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Hey, bro, Charlie Sheen could still play the villain for the.
Yeah, but ever since he came out with HIV, he hasn't acted.
Yeah.
Even though that would make one hell of a villain, though. Just he's gonna infect everybody with HIV. Spawn has to stop him.
I'm gonna fuck everybody. If you don't, stop me, I'm gonna fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, no, condoms first.
So let's talk about if this movie had done. Now this movie was actually, it was weird because like I was thinking about Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey anyway, but Birds of Prey is like the worst.
Whoa.
Hold on. Birds of Prey was like the worst WB movie as far as like financially. Like WB lost so much money off that movie that was like the worst movie financially in Warner Brothers history. Like that's how much money they lost. But I think Birds of Prey is better than this movie. Mm-hmm. What I found interesting was that Warner Brothers actually made a lot of money off this movie. It was just bad. Like people went to the movie theaters to watch it, and that's what I found interesting. Is like people didn't even go to the movie theaters to watch Birds of Prey. Like as soon as they heard the reviews, they're like, you know what, fuck this movie. While with Batman and Robin, and maybe because now because of social media, maybe it's different. But with Batman and Robin, because I'm reading the reviews, like even the late great Siskel and Ebert, they were even like, man, this movie's terrible. Like all the reviews back in the 90s were like, this movie's bad, and yet people still spent money to watch it. And so it made me think, like, you know, did Birds of Prey do so bad financially, and did Warner Brothers lose so much money financially because of social media, and that people just read social media and read all the reviews on the internet? They're like, you know what, I'm not going to watch this movie. Because reading the reviews in the 90s for this movie, they were pretty bad, and it made me wonder, like, why would anybody want to watch this shit if we go off the reviews?
Bro, it's a combination of all kinds of things. Everything that you mentioned, social media, of course, that's gonna make a big difference as far as like the decisions of a person. Because back then, of course, like you mentioned, like there was no social media. So
no, you just had to watch Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, Siskel and Ebert, but like that's like 1 hour channel. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
And you know, not everybody watches TV, or not everybody watches like movie critics at the time. So it wasn't like a big thing for everybody. And
yeah, like Siskel and Ebert gave this movie 2 thumbs down.
Yeah. But you know, people would still watch it. But you know why? You know why Batman and Robin still made a lot of money? It's their merchandising. It's their marketing. It's of course, Schumacher is not stupid. Like he's pretty smart. He's not.
Yeah, but you're saying though, that Birds of Prey had bad marketing?
No, I'm saying it depends on what their marketing is. Who are they trying to market the film to? Schumacher already know what the marketing, what the film was marketed to. Children are they don't know what a bad movie is. All they want to see is like freaking Batmobiles, cars, Batman and Robin with these suits and shit like that. And every kid wants to dress up as Batman and Robin. And they see the toys, they're like, oh, Mom, look, like in the movie, can you buy it? That's why they're able to, of course, establish a lot of income with, you know, generate a lot of income with the film. It's just because Schumacher was literally, like you mentioned earlier, it was like he was making a 2 hour commercial about toys. And that's why they would thrive on the film budget. I mean, on the film box office.
Yeah, because back in 1997, you have Kenneth Turan. He wrote for the Los Angeles Times, and he said back then that this movie would be the death of Batman. Like we'll never see another Batman movie ever again. And this
Almost
because of
true.
this because this well, he was
Almost.
wrong. He was wrong because we got one in
Well, but
2005.
it was close though. It was
Yeah.
close. Like you said, like Warner Brothers, they were gonna bury Batman and like have it like untouchable. Like nobody can touch it as a live action film. Like you can make a Batman cartoon film, like Batman Mask of the Phantasm, but we're never gonna make like a live action Batman film ever again, because it's gonna mess up it's gonna damage our wallets. But of course, Nolan took the challenge, and that just made Nolan legendary. Because Nolan revived not only Batman, but he also revived the superhero franchise. That or Blade? I'm trying to figure out, was it Blade or Batman Begins that revived the superhero franchise?
It was actually a combination of Blade and X-Men. 'Cause I think they came out around the same time.
Right. So Blade and X-Men, and then Batman for the DC.
Well, before Batman, you had Spider-Man, which came out I think 2001.
Right.
All right, so then you have so here's the quote from the guy from the Los Angeles Times at the time. He said that Batman and Robin basically killed the Batman franchise. He says hard to tell who Batman and Robin is intended for. Anyone who knows the character from the comics or has watched the superb animated show on Fox will hate this movie. He said although Schumacher, he said that the problem is that Schumacher treats the Adam West version as the gospel. That show was campy humor that was okay for the time, which is the 1960s. But talking from somebody in the 90s, he said that it just wouldn't work because the cartoon is so much better, which is what I said before.
Yeah, you're right.
The cartoon was for kids, and so he was saying like, if I'm a kid, why would I watch this shit if I could just watch the cartoon and it's better?
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted to ask you because you and I, we are like 7 years apart. So when this movie came out, I was like 9 or 10. So I enjoyed it. It wasn't until I got older where I was like, okay, this is some bullshit. You, on the other hand, you were like 15, 16. So you already like, you were still a kid, but you were older. So what were your thoughts on this movie? Like, did you just right off the bat like, okay, what is this bullshit? Or did you have like a guilty pleasure and liked it? Like, what was it?
Well, first off, I was a fan of the Batman, the Adventures of Batman from the 60s.
See, I liked it too.
Was it Batman Adventures or Batman and Robin Adventures?
No, it was just the show was just called Batman.
Okay, whatever. But I was actually a fan of the Adam West series. As a kid watching it, I was a fan, and then watching Batman and Batman Returns was like a new development of like a viewing experience, because now you're like, oh shit, these are the same guys.
Well,
it was a TV show.
Not to cut you off though, but around in between Batman and Batman Returns, the cartoon comes out.
Right, the cartoon comes on, and you're like, oh, this is great. The cartoon's awesome. So they make a Batman Forever, and I'm thinking, oh shit, finally they're making a sequel from a franchise that you love, right? Mm-hmm. And then that's where it slows down. Batman Forever was like, it's like something missing there. You're trying to figure out, especially at my age. I was like in my teens at the time. I'm like you're watching, and it's like, you know what? I'm watching this, and it's like something's missing here. Like I'm not thrilled watching this the same way I was thrilled watching seeing Catwoman for the first time in Batman Returns, or the Penguin for the first time in Batman Returns. Like I wasn't like thrilled seeing Two-Face and the Riddler. So after Batman and Robin, after watching that, I was like, this is bullshit. At the age of like 14, 16 or whatever, I thought this was just child's play. They lost the essence of that dark, serious, grungy feel of Batman and Batman Returns.
See, I think I think Warner Brothers. Well, I can't even blame Warner Brothers, but basically they fired Tim Burton because people complained that Batman Returns was too dark, so they hired Joel Schumacher to kind of make it more family friendly. But I think Joel Schumacher, he went way the opposite direction. Like, he took it to a whole nother level, to where like if I was a parent, I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, I prefer the darkness of Tim Burton. Like, I'd rather have my kids watch that shit than this.
Yeah. Because now my kids are watching like drag queens.
Yeah.
And I mean, if my kids are gay, I don't mind, but they're not gay, so.
Well, no, in the 90s, they would mind.
They would mind, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got a strong boy here, and he's thinking about like dressing up like the Riddler.
Which is actually, that's a good thing. Y'all should mention that too, because one of the complaints from parents about this movie was there was too many homosexual innuendos in this movie.
Yeah. like
and it starts with the opening scene. It starts with the opening scene with them getting dressed.
For all you listeners, you can't get mad. This is what was intended. We're just saying what we see, and it's true. And Schumacher he said it. He admitted it. It's like, I was trying to make a movie that's happy, you know.
He said he's trying to make a movie that's visually appealing to him. Yeah, and that's what he did. Like the opening scene, we see Batman and Robin getting dressed.
Joe Schumacher is like Tiger Exotic in the film industry.
No, Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like straight men.
Hey, imagine Joe Exotic directing a Batman film.
It'll be just like this.
Just like this one.
Spend 15 minutes on Batman and Robin getting dressed.
You know what we need? This circus needs more tigers. Yeah. Not female and male tigers, just more male tigers.
Yeah. Can we get that shot of Chris O'Donnell's ass one more time? I just need a close up. I don't like the way he was pulling up his pants. But I know. But when I read that though, like the first thing I thought was, can you just imagine being like a dad in the 90s? You take your kid to see Batman and Robin, and you just like,
hey yo, what the fuck?
Like, why? Like, did we just spend 15 minutes looking at bat nipples and bat crotch, bat ass?
Well, the
like,
bat girl, I don't mind. I don't mind.
But it was funny too, because they didn't even spend that much time on Batgirl getting dressed.
Yeah, I was
when
like,
Batgirl got dressed, it was like 30 seconds. It was like 30 seconds.
Okay, that's Batman and Robin. Perfect. That was good, Alicia.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Can we, George and Chris, can we reshoot that? If you guys, we need to get a shot of you guys putting on the black and silver costume now.
Yeah, we need a close up. Okay, we need another shot of an extreme close up. Okay, great.
And then Lisa was like, Joe, what about me? No, bitch, we're done. We're done.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. That's enough.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
Perfect. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to see her crotch.
Yeah, I don't want to see your ass either. Like if you notice, the Batgirl suit didn't have no nipples on it.
See. Now, if this movie was done here today, I would yell out sexist. Where's her nipples?
No. If this movie came out today, people would be like, congratulate, like, oh my god, they finally made Batman gay.
Bro, if this movie was done today, it would probably win an Oscar.
Bro, no, yeah, because I still don't understand why people are complaining.
You know why, right? You know why they would win an Oscar, right? Because people are going to complain, oh, you guys just don't want to watch this movie because it's, supposedly gay and you guys are homophobic. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like with the new Spider-Man movie. Like, I don't understand why people are complaining that Spider-Man's not bisexual. Like, why does he have to be bisexual?
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with the story.
It's so stupid.
Like people watch Spider-Man Far From Home. Was like, you know what, this movie's good, but you know what will make it better if he was gay.
But
that's what we need.
You're complaining about him being bisexual. If he was to be bisexual, then you'll have like a community complaining about you. Like, why can't he be bisexual? Huh?
But people are complaining now that he's straight.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if Batman and Robin was done today, the same exact way that Schumacher did, Schumacher will fucking win a fucking award and shit. Because
He did though. He won. They in 1997 they swept the Razzies. The Razzies was like the Oscars, but only for bad movies. So in 1997, Alicia Silverstone won Worst Supporting Actress. George Clooney won Worst Actor. Chris O'Donnell won Worst Supporting Actor. Chris O'Donnell and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they shared Worst Supporting Actor. Like they couldn't decide who was worse, so they just gave it to both of them.
What the fuck?
Uma Thurman also won Worst Supporting Actress with Alicia Silverstone. Joel Schumacher won the award for Worst Director. And then Batman and Robin also won the award for Worst Movie of the Year.
Wow.
And also the Worst Sequel of the Year.
Wow, that's a record. That's a lot of awards. The
only good thing about this movie is that the soundtrack won a Grammy. The soundtrack won the Grammy Award for Best Soundtrack. So it's like the Academy.
Sing a song that you can remember. Sing a song you can remember in the Batman.
Oh, actually, I did from the credits. That's where I got that song from. It was the R. Kelly, Gotham City.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was thinking about that before everyone. Now you've been kissed by the rose on the.
Well, no, I sang that song, but I still was from Batman Forever. I got the movies mixed up. It was actually Batman and Robin. But that song won a fucking Grammy. So it's like the Academy's like, this movie sucks, but it's R. Kelly shit though. Man, I can get down with that.
Hey, be careful, dude. You're not allowed to like.
See, if this movie came out today,
with R. Kelly,
that R. Kelly song would not win a Grammy.
Oh no!
They'd be like, fuck the soundtrack. Fuck the soundtrack.
This soundtrack is a pedophile.
Yeah. Now, George Clooney. A lot of the parents that complained about the rubber nipples on the costume. They didn't like the fact that they did close-up shots on Batman and Robin's butt and crotch. The Los Angeles Times wrote that the addition of nipples was to Batman's costume will be the movie's lasting legacy. Joel Schumacher later on apologized, saying that he had no idea that putting nipples on Batman and Robin's suit was gonna be such a big deal, and that he wanted to make the suit look. He wanted Batman and Robin to look like Greek gods. That's why the costume had nipples in like a 12-pack. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. That makes sense.
Because according to Joel Schumacher, he said in his mind when he was picturing Batman and Robin, he said he pictured these two guys with perfect bodies.
Ah.
So he was basically having like a fantasy in his head, like jerking off to Batman and Robin. It's like Greek gods and shit.
Yeah. So what do you think?
But obviously he didn't.
For that, then?
Huh?
Do you think he deserves a pass for the nipples? Because he, now that he explained why the nipples were actually there from the beginning.
I would give him a pass if he put the nipples on Batgirl, because how come Batgirl can't be a Greek god? Like, you don't even give a fuck about Batgirls. Just but Batman and Robin. Just in my mind, I can just picture Batman and Robin having these perfect bodies.
Yeah,
I just want to fuck. And then Chris O'Donnell said that he didn't mind the nipples. What bothered him was the close-up shots of his ass. He didn't understand it at the time, and he doesn't understand it now.
I bet you Chris O'Donnell was like, I bet you Schumacher was like, okay, everybody, cameraman, I'll take care of this. Everybody just go ahead, take 5. It's just gonna be me and Chris O'Donnell. I'm just gonna, shoot this myself because I want you guys to all, you all been working hard. You all need a break. You know what? As a matter of fact, take an hour. Yeah. You're still gonna get paid for it, of course. I'm gonna take 2 hours. And he was just shooting Chris O'Donnell. It's like, okay, Chris O'Donnell, let's take that shot again. And Chris O'Donnell was like, why do I have to do this again? It's like, you want to be a star or not? Robin doesn't cry. Come on, show me your ass.
Yeah.
Show me your ass.
Now turn around, need to close up with your crotch. I just need to get different angles.
Again? Come on, Schumacher. You want to be a star or not? Okay, let me suck your dick. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's show your ass.
And then George Clooney said that Joel Schumacher told him that he wanted Batman to be gay, even though Joel Schumacher denied it. But that's what George Clooney said.
Right.
And that George Clooney thought that the movie was like a waste of his time.
Imagine the gay Batman.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think George Clooney was right there. I think Joel Schumacher did want Batman to be gay, but he didn't want to make it too obvious. That's why they forced him to have that fiance that really had like no character development. Like his fiance was just there to be there, but she really had no purpose in the movie.
Right.
You could have took away Bruce Wayne's fiance and nothing would change about the movie.
What do you call that? Like when gay people have like a supposedly a wife, but it's supposed to be like a cover up.
There's a term for that. My brother,
right?
There's a term for that. My brother told me one time, but I forgot.
Because supposedly the guy is not like fully out of the closet yet.
Yeah.
So he's just using that as a cover up. I was like, come on, bro, just get out of the closet. We're not gonna yell at you, bro. Just
see, I think that's what George Schumacher was thinking too. Like, you know what? I really want Bruce to be gay, but I don't want to make it so obvious. You know, with the nipples and all. So let's just make him have a fiance.
See, Batman and Robin reminds me of like the gay friend who's just not fully out of the closet yet. But you know, you kind of see little hints there, like, bro, I don't know, man. Keep talking about guys at the gym, man. What's up with that? Like, you've been spending too much time in the sauna with a bunch of dudes, man. What's up with that? That's what Batman and Robin reminds me of.
And then Batman and Robin also has the worst Rotten Tomatoes score of any superhero film ever. Just 11%. So this movie has a worse score than Fantastic Four '94.
Damn. And I hated that movie. Fuck.
Well,
wait, 94. You're talking about the first Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah. The movie that was so bad it never came out on video.
Oh my god!
But that movie has a 30% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is better than Batman and Robin's 11%.
Yeah, but in fairness, that was like one of the very, very first, you know, live action adapting, comic adapted film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was after Captain America, right? At the time.
Yeah.
America. So
also there was no homoerotic shit in it either.
Yeah, and it was something new because, you know, like people didn't know where to put this. I guess it was under science fiction genre at the time.
Well, plus it was an independent film, so it didn't really have like a worldwide release.
Right. But yeah. But still, that's that film. I can't watch that film again. Oh my god.
But then that makes me too talk about the sequel that was supposed to happen. It was going to be called Batman Unchained. And reading about the sequel, it kind of sounds like the Batman Arkham series, the video games.
Yeah.
So basically, the villains for that movie was going to be Scarecrow and Harley Quinn. And Scarecrow's going to use the fear toxin, and Batman was going to hallucinate, and he's going to see the Joker. And Jack Nicholson was going to come back and play the Joker, and they're going to change it up that instead of Harley Quinn being Joker's girlfriend, she was actually going to be Joker's daughter. And she was going to come back and get revenge on Batman for killing her dad.
That would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah, and she was going to work with Scarecrow. I don't really know how the dynamic between Harley Quinn and Scarecrow would work, but they were going to work together. And then But then like George Clooney had such a bad time making Batman and Robin that he said he wasn't gonna do the Batman Unchained, which is gonna be the 5th movie. But Alicia Silverstone and Chris O'Donnell had already signed up to do the movie. The question was like, so the question was who were they gonna have to play Batman, since George Clooney refused to do it. But Batman and Robin was so bad that Warner Brothers like scrapped the whole movie. Like, fuck it, no more Batman. But if they were to make the 5th Batman, like, what did you think about that storyline with like Scarecrow, spreading fear toxin all over Gotham City, to the point where Batman is now hallucinating and he now sees the Jack Nicholson version of Joker, and then you have Joker's daughter Harley Quinn coming to revenge her father's death.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind it. I want to see like something a little bit different. I think it would have worked because, like you said, it's very very familiar to the Arkham, the Arkham Asylum games or the Arkham games. Like that story with Scarecrow being the main antagonist, and Harley Quinn being also the sidekick or the second villain. I think it would have a lot of like I don't know, a lot of similarities to the Arkham games, and I like the Arkham games.
Well, see, it
Joker
sounds
hallucination that worked, right? Didn't it work?
No, but see, my issue though is who's directing it. Like, it sounds good, but you think like it's Joel Schumacher, so it's gonna be some gay shit in there. So like neon, like Scarecrow with like neon colors and shit.
Scarecrow's gonna be like, his toxins are gonna be glitter.
Yeah, like Poison Ivy's thing.
Glitter, right? Isn't it glitter already? Yeah. See, I think it would have been interesting if they put Poison Ivy and Scarecrow together, because their toxins are almost similar. There's a lot of similarities to their toxins. Like their toxins, like Poison Ivy's toxins, make people do things. Like it kind of turns them to like zombies or something, and Scarecrow's toxins does like kind of like it's like the epitome. It's people. So they're like two opposite magnets. But
all right,
just to go back to that one, I don't know. I guess it depends on the director, right?
Well, Joel Schumacher was gonna be the director, but so that's why I said like it sounds good until you remember that Joel Schumacher was gonna be the director, and it's like I don't have faith in the guy.
That's why the Warner Brothers Studios, the board members of Warner Brothers was like, you know what, Schumacher again? Okay, no, fuck this shit, dude.
No more Batman. But not only do they cancel Batman, but then they also canceled the Superman movie that was supposed to come out, because it's supposed to be like a whole like DC cinematic universe back in the 90s. But then because Batman and Robin was so bad, they just scrapped everything. Like, you know what? We're done with superheroes for a while. Like, just fuck it.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the documentary about the what happened with that Superman Batman could have happened?
Yeah. Well, I watched a documentary about they were gonna make a Superman movie with Nicolas Cage playing Superman.
You watched the documentary of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was directed by John Schnepp, who actually passed away. And well, rest in peace, of course, to John Schnepp. And I haven't seen it, but I've been wanting to watch it. I'm just trying to figure out where I can see it.
Well, I watched it on TV. I was just flipping channels. It was on TV one day, and I watched it. That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I don't even remember what the documentary's called. If I did, I'll tell you.
Man, what happened?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But back to the hypothetical though, if this movie did well and they actually made the Superman movie, would you think of like having a DC cinematic universe back in the 90s when that was like unheard of at that time?
I don't know, dude. That's hard to say because you know what? Even if they did it, let's say if Joe Schumacher did well, and let's say he recasted Michael Keaton for Batman and whoever, right? And let's say that movie did well. I still can't picture Christopher Reeves and Batman together, and Michael Keaton together. Like,
Well, no, it wasn't. It wouldn't have been Christopher Reeves though. It would have been Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Oh, Nicolas Cage. I don't know. It's hard to say because we don't know.
Because Christopher Reeves at this time was already old. Because remember, Superman came out in the 70s.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Christopher Reeves actually could have played Jor-El. That would have been a good cameo.
Yeah. Only problem is he was paralyzed at this time.
Yeah. Well, he could still be paralyzed and play Jor-El as the hologram.
Oh yeah, his face.
His head. Yeah, use his face. Yeah, that would have been nice. I don't know. It's hard to say because at the time, what kind of films did Nicolas Cage make at the time?
Face Off.
Face Off, right? Okay. But see, he was receding. He was bald. So are you gonna like implant some fake hair on him or?
Well, if you watch the documentary, his hair is gonna be like the hair that Superman had in the comics in the 90s with the long hair, the mullet.
Oh, all right. Like after the death of Superman or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess maybe they would have put like a wig on him or however they did it back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't think he was receding in Face Off, was he?
Just a little bit. But even though, I mean, it doesn't matter if you recede or not, it's natural. You can always put like fake hair because they did put like, not implants, but like some sort of a wig, or I don't know if they use CGI on Ghost Rider. They actually fixed up his hair to.
Well, I know, I know they used to do it for Bruce Willis, until Bruce Willis was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna be bald."
Yeah. I don't know. It might be interesting because, like, just watching Nicolas Cage in the movie Con Air. Have you seen Con Air?
Yeah.
Where he was like this. I think he was a Marine, and so he came back from his services as a Marine, and he accidentally killed a couple of hoodlums, so he went to jail just for protecting.
Oh shit! Life. I did not know this. Okay, you know, in Batman and Robin, right? The cameo by Coolio.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, did you know that was Jonathan Crane that Coolio was playing?
What? Scarecrow?
Yeah. So Coolio played Jonathan Crane in that cameo appearance in Batman and Robin, and that was to set up the sequel.
What?
I don't think Coolio would have made a good Scarecrow.
No shit. Where's my money?
Gangsta's Paradise.
He's gonna re-rap his Gangster Paradise song.
Hey,
his Gangster Paradise song would be perfect. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Actually, you know what? And maybe it could work because he could sell his fear toxin as like drugs or something. Like
man,
cocaine.
Schumacher was just changing everybody here. You know what? This person is going to be related to this person. This person doesn't have to be a kid anymore. We're going to start him off as 35, 45. This person is going to be black. This person is going to be Chinese. Like, what the fuck? This person is going to be like super old. Like, what? Oh my god, that's too funny. Like he man, this is like definitely an alternate universe. It just has no, like, you know what I mean? It's like no connection to any like, you know how comic books have your multiverse, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the problem with Joel Schumacher is that he's admitted he never read Batman comic books.
Right.
His only thing that he knows about Batman was the TV show that came out in the '60s. That's what he watched as a kid.
But bro, even the Batman. Okay, as cheesy as the Batman from the '60s was, it's still referenced a lot of like comic book. You know what I mean? Like as far as like the characters.
Well, yeah, and see, and not only that, I think what made the show from the '60s so good was that, I mean, yeah, it's cheesy, but it works for that time period.
Yeah.
And so when you watch it, when you watch it for that mindset, like, okay, it works. Like, even if you watch it now, like, yeah, it's cheesy, but I still get entertained by it because you understand, like, this is the '60s, you know, like, it works for that time period.
And I would fucking
This shit,
watch the whole shit again. Dude. I would.
yeah.
We should binge watch Batman Adventure.
Hey, it's weird. It's weird. Like Robin's the only person that's still alive from that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody else is dead.
What's his name again? Burton?
Burt Ward.
Burt Ward. Hey, that's crazy. Tim Ward? No. Tim Burt Ward? No. Okay. No, it doesn't work. Okay. Hey, did you also know if
Robin?
Arkham?
I smell purple.
Purple.
Yeah, it was a quote from the show. In one episode I watched, he's like, "Robin, I smell purple."
Holy busted smokes, Batman!
Actually, they did do that in Batman Forever.
They did.
He's like, "Batman, holy rusted metal, Batman." And Batman's like, "What?
What?
Holy rusted metal, Batman? It's rusted and it's holy."
Yeah, the metal. Oh.
Yeah, it's metal and has holes in it. Holy rusted metal, Batman. Like, okay, I got it.
That's funny how we're watching, we're rewatching Batman and Robin, and we're learning more than we ever knew when we first watched it, or watched it. I don't know, how many times did you watch Batman and Robin? 5, 6 times?
Actually, watching it over the weekend was my first time watching it since it's been over 10 years, I'll say.
So I can say I've watched it about maybe 5 times in my lifetime.
Well, I know I've watched it more than that, because like I said, when I was a little kid, I was like 8 or 9 when this movie came out.
Damn.
I love this shit. I love this movie as a kid. It's not until I got older I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, just admit it, bro. You still love the movie.
Nah, I don't. But I don't love the movie, but like,
you don't even consider this like a guilty pleasure?
Nah, I consider Batman Forever to be more of a guilty pleasure than this. Like, I'll watch Batman Forever. Like, I still enjoy that movie. Like, it's still campy, but it's not as bad as like Batman and Robin. Like, Batman and Robin is just terrible. Like, the whole movie just has me saying like, what the fuck?
You know what? Now that the more we talk about Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, the more I want to go rewatch it again. Like, you know what?
Well, at least the good thing about Batman and Robin.
Okay, I'm sure we both agree about our feelings towards the film. I mean, we're grown, so we know, we can kind of tell what a bad movie is and what a good movie is, what good writing is and what bad writing is, and what's cheesy and what's not. I'm sure we can agree on that, and we can pretty much compare and contrast between the two. But just talking about this more, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to add this to one of my guilty pleasure lists. This is gonna go Batman and Robin. Batman Forever is gonna go somewhere in the top of my Dark Phoenix and X-Men Apocalypse guilty pleasure list. Oh, and Suicide Squad, because you hate that. I would consider that a guilty pleasure too, because supposedly you and everybody else in the world hates it except me.
Yeah, I think you might be the only person like Suicide Squad and Han Solo.
I'm not Solo movie. Bro, shut the fuck up. I'm not the only one who hates Han Solo. There's a fan base for Han Solo, and there's actually the fan base. I'm
just saying though, like the Han Solo movie lost Disney so much money that Disney canceled the Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film.
But see, it's now because the Mandalorian season 2 is coming out. Since the hype train, since that's getting hyped up, people are now thinking about you know what? I think an Obi-Wan Kenobi and a Han Solo sequel would be suffice. I mean, I think it would be relevant. It would be relevant to actually start the project again. This is before The Mandalorian, but because The Mandalorian is doing so well, and you haven't even seen any of The Mandalorian, right?
No, I still haven't watched it. I gotta watch it though, because my brother gave me his password to Disney Plus, so I gotta check that out.
Bro, you said that like a month ago.
I know, but then I started I started watching like The
Wait,
Wire and shit.
are you too busy like walking in the park or what? Like I feel like,
Nah, I've been busy watching other shows that are not The Mandalorian.
bro. Okay, well, you gotta do the Mandalorian, man. And I think you should binge watch it. It's only like 7 episodes, 30 minutes long. It's not that long. 7 episodes per season. Just binge watch that. We'll do another a pod. I guess this concludes our Batman and Robin review. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. So you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook at Solo Ants, Tumblr at Solo Ants, Instagram at Solo Ant 2020. You can find me on Instagram at Expected Ant and on Twitter at Expected Ant. I'm more on Twitter nowadays because this whole coronavirus thing has me on Twitter. Like, I didn't know I can get everything on Twitter. Twitter has news, sports, and porn all on one website. Like, you get everything on Twitter. That's like my new go-to.
Bro, like I see your Twitter's popped up feeds like pop out every freaking minute. Yeah.
But the one thing I do hate about Twitter though is that if you like something, it shows like on your friends' timeline.
Yeah.
Because like that happened. Yeah, like that happened with my brother. No, my brother. Like because we follow each other on Twitter. So my brother, he liked a video of this guy like jerking off, and next thing you know, I have like videos of dudes jerking off on my timeline. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck?
Because like whatever he likes, it shows on my timeline. I'm like, why? Why do I want to see like guys jerking off?
Probably a reason why I don't want to get too much into Twitter.
well, since he followed me, it'd be like you see like a bunch of like big booty lesbians and shit.
Oh, bro, I see a lot of things you like, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the more I see that, the more I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna fuck around with Twitter too much.
Well, no, but then it'd be the opposite with you. Like, if you like your petite girls, and I'll see it on my timeline.
You'll see it in your timeline.
Yeah, like whatever you like will show on my timeline.
Exactly.
And whatever I like will be on your timeline.
I know, whoever follows me or whoever follows you. Yeah. That's why, I try to keep away from that.
So, your social media. What's your social media?
Oh yeah, Aubrey Freely _81. That's right. That's my IG. We are not to wait. That's my Damien Wayans from.
Sound more like Flavor Flav.
Oh yeah, I was like, hey, New York, I love you, New York.
Hey boy. And you can find us on all streaming services where podcasts can be heard. We are out. Peace.
shadow.